Coming to you live from Ever Media Studios in Los Angeles, this is EverTalk Live.
Happy Wednesday, I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Justin Moyer. This is EverTalk Live, coming to you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. from the Ever Media Studios. We're streaming on all things social and on Apple TV and Roku via the EverTalk app. Daily dose, little positivity,
right.
Pop culture, happiness in Hollywood, right here on Wednesday.
Love it. Happy Wednesday, Jets.
LA is like serving some serious fall vibes
I
right
know.
now.
I woke up today and I was like, sweatshirt? Oh, that was not good enough. I had to put on the coat and hat. Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
It's like doom and gloom around here.
I know.
It really makes me realize how much I take for granted the sunshine living in LA.
It's true.
I don't miss you. Fog.
No.
Rain,
well, it's interesting.
Weather, anything.
No, not at all. And my mom sent me a picture from Pittsburgh, snow. So it could always be worse.
It could
Yeah.
be. I don't mind snow, like a little winter wonderland over the holidays,
Yeah.
but really I don't want to live in it.
No.
I braved the Michigan winters long enough.
I know, it's true. I agree. I love the snow on a snapshot from my family back east. That's awesome, but I don't want to be
We
there.
weren't cut out for winter,
I know,
Bob.
it's true. I love the sunshine. What can I do?
What can we do? Well, we
Indeed,
had a
indeed.
great show yesterday. We'd love to take a look at the rewind.
Coming to you live from Ever Media Studios in Los Angeles, this is EverTalk Live.
This is EverTalk Live, coming to you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. for a daily dose of positivity and pop culture, a little happiness in Hollywood at Ever Media Studios in West Hollywood. We are on Apple TV and Roku, and of course, streaming on all things social.
You might be the only other person I can text at 3:30 a.m. because I get up at 3:30 a.m. as well. It's like me, you, and like The Rock.
No, seriously.
It's like it.
So I wake up around like 6 o'clock, get up, get dressed, go to school, then come home, go to cheer practice, then work on all the business stuff, the emails, the products, ship everything out, and figure everything out.
Love that. If I was a self-made millionaire at 6 years old, I don't know if I'd go to school.
I'd be retired.
I'd be so demotivated.
Yeah. We are here with one of the youngest self-made millionaires. Isabella Bear is in the house. Influencer, social media superstar, former toddler and tiara. Thanks for being here with us.
Thank you. Well, when I was 6, I didn't really understand like the title of being the youngest self-made millionaire. So now that I'm like older and I can understand everything, I started to take more control of what I wanted to do.
We're here with Em, and she is hot off the stage from a serious, amazing show last night. Tell us all about it.
I think we're doing something really unique that's not out there at the moment. Our style, because of my varied background, and I'm an actor as well, and I went to theatre school and stuff, it's literally like jazz, rock, pop, classical, theatre, and people are just like, what?
We are here with Zach Shore talking his latest new series, hotly anticipated, Amazon's The Hunt.
I actually have 2 grandparents who are Holocaust survivors, and it felt like a really great opportunity to portray a character that was a Holocaust victim and do justice to that.
If you're looking for a little Parisian chic meets California cool, we've got the founder of Kova with us, MMOK, and I'm so excited for this very elegant new dry bar opening right around the corner on Robertson in West Hollywood. What, 2 weeks?
Yeah, in 2 weeks, 2nd of December, actually.
Wow, is that excited?
Yeah, super excited.
We are here with the brother-sister duo who founded it, the Car Seat King. Mara,
Yes.
Kristen, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
Googled our way to making it.
Okay,
We literally Googled it. We literally Googled
Google.
it. We don't have anyone in the family that does business, that invented anything. Like literally Googled how to start a business.
Oh, fantastic. You know what's interesting to me is like everybody these days is an entrepreneur. Quite starting at 6.
Okay, I had never even heard the word entrepreneur when I was 6 years old. I probably never even heard that word until I moved to California.
Oh, I agree. I was
I'm
probably
not
in
gonna lie.
business school before I actually really understood what it meant.
She is a self-made millionaire at 6
6,
years old.
yeah.
I would have retired. I would
There's
have
no
retired
question.
in only lunch. Well done, Isabella Barrett. I mean, from toddlers and tiaras
Yeah.
to ruling the world. Jeez.
Absolutely. And the dry bar, how cool is that, Kova?
Oh,
Yes.
so sexy. There's something about a French woman.
Yeah. I know you love all things French. I can appreciate that. I love all things Italian, Italian cars, Italian leather,
Really? I
Italian
didn't
clothes.
know you were like an Italian guy.
Yeah, I just love Italian things, like, just fast cars, motorcycles. I love Italian women. I love Italian all things.
Food?
Food. Oh, I love Italian
Wine?
food. Yeah. It's all
Oh.
tends to be pretty expensive. Right? Expensive. The cars.
I don't mind.
Yes, indeed.
I don't mind. Well, we're excited to continue to share our daily rewinds with you. Of course, you can watch them on IGTV at EverTalk TV or on our individual socials and catch the full episodes that live on EverTalk TV on Apple TV and Roku.
Indeed, indeed. So, so excited for the interviews today.
Yes,
Right?
very special guest. Good morning, ladies, back in the studio.
Good morning.
Hello.
Morning.
They've got the fall vibes too.
I know, they're waking up with us. It's good.
Waking up with us. Well, speaking of waking up, we have got Kat in the house. She's a dream expert and a humanitarian. Good morning, Kat.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for being with us today. I'm so excited to have the conversation about how dreams can truly save your life. But first, we want to know, how do you wake up and stay woke?
Well, the first thing I do is I reach over and I grab my dream journal, because as a 3-time breast cancer survivor, I know there are dreams that can save your life. So I write my dream down and then I start my morning. Head for my coffee.
Love that. Dream. So, do you dream pretty consistently? Like every night you have a dream and you write it down?
No, not every night, and I tell people sometimes if you don't remember your dreams, it's because you just needed a night of sleep and to enjoy your dreams, but there might not be any messages. But if you do remember your dream, there's probably a great message in there, your inner self speaking to you, or perhaps a deceased loved one coming back to say, hey, love never dies and I still love you.
Fantastic.
that.
Absolutely. Do you dream a lot, Jess?
I do.
Do you
dream a
really?
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about
Yeah.
that.
Day and night, huh? Day and night.
You know what I'm dreaming of this morning?
What's that?
Some really good vegan fried chicken.
Oh, there you go.
It's a good thing we've got Deborah Torres in the house. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for being with us. We had an incredible look earlier at ABC Shark Tank. You were there.
Yes, I was.
We want to know all about this later in the show, but first tell us, how do you wake up and stay woke?
Well, when I wake up, I go into some meditation. I have to get my thoughts together, get my dedications for the day. I go on a light run. I always have a green smoothie in the morning that really energizes you. Just some spinach, kale, bananas, strawberries. I do trade a little bit of stocks, and then it's business for the rest of the day.
Man, that's a serious morning. I mean, that is incredible. It's amazing to me. Like, I feel like it's almost a law. In order to live in LA, you've got to have a green smoothie every morning. You have to meditate. You got to hit yoga, right? It's an endless list. She does it all.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all so much for being with us today. We look forward to continuing the conversation later in the show.
It's so funny. I think all of my friends that don't live in LA are always wondering, like, why LA is the way it is with the green smoothies and the meditation, and it's pretty interesting, huh?
No, it really is.
Yeah.
We put a special kind of highlight in our lives for health and wellness in LA
Yeah.
that I don't know necessarily if it exists in the same way anywhere
It's true.
else in
It's
the
true.
world.
It's sort of leading edge, which sort of brings us to the topic of the day. Because one of the sort of topics that I'm fascinated with as a positive psychology expert and practitioner is psychological capital. So of course, Andy Waldman, our executive producer, he's big on all things entrepreneurial and psychological capital. That's right. Exactly. So psychological capital really is about psychological health. And when you're psychologically healthy, it leads to psychological wealth, but also leads to other forms of wealth, like relationship wealth and health wealth, and it also leads to actually real wealth, so like financial gains. So when we talk about psychological capital, we're really talking about 4 things: hope, efficacy, so that's self-efficacy, resilience, and optimism. So the acronym there is HERO: hope, efficacy, resilience, and optimism. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting, but basically the idea is that the product is greater than the sum of the parts. So when you're hopeful, resilient, optimistic, and efficacious, you tend to find that you live a very happy life, but also a very successful one.
I think this is really interesting, though, because some of the most successful people we know are not happy.
Absolutely.
They're lacking in psychological wealth.
Yeah, that's why we have so many folks that are popular or public figures, and they're suicidal, they're depressed, they're on drugs. They're always sort of anxious and stressed. out. And I think, it's interesting. I think prosperity without peace is poverty, right? It's like success without fulfillment is failure. And so it's interesting, to be so rich or to be so wealthy and to be so successful, but to not be happy. Sort of pointless in lots of ways, right?
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
It's an interesting conversation. We've all been talking about Instagram likes going away. It's been tested in 7 countries around the world. It's being tested here in the U.S. this week. Nobody knows who the select few are going to be or the select millions, but likes are going to be disappearing. And it's Instagram's effort to be able to provide psychological wealth back to people because so many people are just looking for the validation through likes.
It's true. It's true.
But this is a massive upset. How do you feel about it?
I love the idea. I think, of course, it will require a lot more than just removing the likes because people generally tend to find what they're looking for. So if they're looking for external validation, they'll find it in some other fashion or form. They'll have somebody that just digs into the data and tells them how many likes they're getting, how many views they're getting. But I love it. I love it as a sort of first step. Right?
Well, it's interesting. We'll still be able to see how many likes and posts and comments and things that we've got, but nobody else will see.
There you go. Okay. So,
it doesn't really help because I'm still going to be the person who
Exactly.
scrolls through all of my likes and all the stories and say, who's watching? Did he like that? Did she see that?
Right, exactly.
We're all addicted to that.
Yeah, it's part of the reason that it's so wonderful and also so annoying is like you post a picture like, oh, I didn't get any likes on that. I just delete that one. I'll start over. But it keeps people like on Instagram, which they all day long.
I know. I'm having this like crisis of conscience because somebody told me I should really archive some of my posts.
Yes.
Like, the past few years have been right on, but when you started Instagram, you might want to archive that. It's not a good look for you anymore. And I feel really bad about
Do
that.
you, Jess? Have you noticed any themes in the sort of posts that you would archive? Like, is it a certain type of post? Is it like, usually it's the meaningful ones that you have to archive because those are the ones that don't always get the highest.
I'm just going to have somebody else scrub through it. I'm too
Yeah.
emotionally attached.
That's the key. I love to outsource everything humanly possible, and social media is one of those things. I still haven't done it completely. I've played with it here and there. But it's fun, I think, to go on and post, but I don't really love consuming a whole lot online. It's exhausting for me, right?
How often are you consuming social media?
Not very often. Honestly, like I used to, in the morning after I meditate and work to the gym, I would go scroll through, but now, it's probably like 30 seconds at a time. I can do no more than 30 seconds at a time.
Wow, you're an anomaly, Rob.
But it's just because I'm so sensitive to the way I feel. I don't like being stressed out. I don't like feeling anxious. I don't like feeling like I'm chasing some unicorn, right? Are you on there a lot, Jess?
I am.
Are
But
you?
I even got this special case for my phone, so I wouldn't autopilot go on there because I kept finding myself, why am I on Instagram scrolling right now? I didn't even mentally, mindfully do that.
Yeah.
I just started doing that, so I put a case on it so I couldn't do that.
Oh, I love that. It's smart, actually. It's one of the things I do with my executives is that I help them hide apps that they don't want to use as often, right? So make it inaccessible. So bury it 4 folders deep. They're a lot less motivated to find it. But it is interesting. Have you found that when you do consume, you kind of consume similar kinds of material? Because I will go on there and generally I will look for quotes, but you quickly get sidetracked, right? Like you go looking for something interesting and valuable, and next thing you know, you're down this crack alley.
Okay, I have an interesting test right now. Pull up your Instagram, Rob. Let's see what's on your feed compared to my feed, because I think this is really interesting.
Yeah.
This is a huge reflection.
I've got a little Focused and Fabulous something.
Oh, he gets the quotes.
Well, we'll see.
I get somebody who is.
I've got all manner of just crazy. It's just like, so it points back to something that we talked about earlier, which is this whole idea around algorithmic editing, which is that, when you choose something enough times, it starts to choose you.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
That's what an algorithm essentially is.
My Explore page is all engagement rings, wedding
that's good,
photos,
though.
and babies. I am not married. I am not engaged.
But you want to be, right? You'd like to be one day.
Yes, I would like to be one day.
So it's aspirational.
It's really interesting that that's what's only shown to me.
Yeah.
And sometimes it does make me feel worse about where I'm at in my life.
know.
It's hard not to go into that comparison vibe.
Are there any accounts or profiles online that you love, like Instagram accounts that you
Yes,
just love?
moon omens. It's my new favorite
Moon
thing. I am
omens.
obsessed. My mom teases me about always talking about the moon. She's like, you're so California. I'm like, well, I find truth in that. I think there's some sort of universal GPS that's speaking magic into my life.
I will say on the walk today to the gym, it was a very active scene out in the streets. And it was a full moon last night, right?
Yeah, but Rob walks to the gym in the middle of the night.
This is true. This is true. So I get all the folks that are coming home from the club.
Exactly.
And it's so true.
That 4 a.m. walk to the gym is going to be wild.
Always, yeah. So Moon and Omens, what else? Do you look at anything else?
Rob
profile-wise?
Back Official.
There you go,
He
of
does
course.
these really great Insta stories that are very positive from the seat of his Italian Maserati.
That guy's very cool. You gotta check that out.
He's
Super
very
dope.
cool.
You know who else? I look at The Rock's. The Rock has a pretty interesting page sometimes. I think it's inspirational stuff sometimes, and he's just shredded. So and it's interesting to see what he eats on his cheat day. That's fun, right? Besides that, Abraham Hicks, Eckhart Tolle, just for the quotes mostly.
Well, if the likes go away, Nicki Minaj is no longer going to be using Instagram.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm open to receiving any and all of her followers.
Yeah, really. Open to receive. So was that true? Is that what she said?
Yeah,
Really?
absolutely. There
Yeah.
are a lot of celebrities who are really up in arms about it. But Kim Kardashian came
Right.
out in total support and said she does think this will positively affect everyone's mental health.
So the celebrities that aren't in support of like Instagram taking away the likes, is it because they feel like it's not going to be able to monetize it like the way they were?
Oh, absolutely.
Or?
It's totally going to disrupt this whole influencer
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Completely. But it's ever changing. Like 5 years ago, there wasn't an influencer game.
Well, I mean, champagne problems. It's like champagne problems, champagne poppy problems, really. It's like drink kind of problem. Pretty good problems to have.
Rosé
but I
problems.
can understand, if you're making thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands off your
Or
Instagram pages.
millions of dollars,
Yeah,
yeah.
totally.
Well, we're open to receiving that.
We are open to receiving.
Likes or no likes. We're so excited for our first interview with Deborah Torres. We've got to talk all things vegan fried chicken. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more on EverTalk Live. Where can you watch the stories of people changing the world? EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk.
All I can say to you guys is remember you are not alone. It's that simple. Just keep remembering you are not alone.
We look good. No, you look good. All of us. We are so hot and humble.
Follow.
You know me, I gotta follow the light.
Yeah, girl. It's all about that light.
I saw that light over there. I said, this must be my light.
Every time you laugh, you snort.
Our producer's messing up the set. Security.
Thank you. That was awesome. I was like, are we going into infomercial already? Where's the 1-800 number? I don't know how we need to have these bloopers. Well, there you have it.
Yes.
You guys can binge watch all of our episodes on upgradeyourlifetv.com and on the EverTalk app. Bye, guys.
Bye.
EverTalk is hashtag community powered, so we are excited to offer you a free 30-day subscription to explore the talk shows that will bring you timeless entertainment and evergreen conversations that will inspire, uplift, and empower you anytime, anywhere at EverTalk TV. Welcome back to EverTalk Live. I am so excited to welcome Deborah Torres to the show, hot off ABC's Shark Tank, and we're talking all things incredible vegan fried chicken. I am so obsessed with this movement. In fact, most of America is. You're practically sold out, Alice Monroe.
Yes, we are. We're actually sold out till 2020.
Wow.
That is insane. Congratulations. Tell us about your family's journey to building this company.
Well, it basically started when my father was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes a few years ago. I'd seen this documentary where they took some individuals that had type 2 diabetes and other complications because of it, and they put them all on a raw vegan diet for 30 days. And at the end of it, they were healed. So I was like, we're doing this diet. Like, we're all doing this. We're going to do this in an effort to heal him. So we decided to do it for 90 days so that it would become more of a habit instead of just like a little fad diet kind of a thing. And sure enough, at the end of it, he was completely healed. Wow. Yeah, it was awesome.
Wow. So truth, when you first did the diet, when you first started it, how did he feel about it though? Because it can be tough transition.
Oh yes. We were all hangry. Yeah. we were all like fighting over who's getting more salad and carrots. We're like, this is evenly divided. No, but seriously, we were like cutting each other's throats. Yeah. And then it got easier. I think in part because we were all like, we have to make other food. Like we have to make, raw tacos or raw lasagna or raw soup or something besides salads and fruit salads and smoothies. So we just got like really into it, and it got really interesting, and we were able to mimic the food that we were eating before, even though it wasn't cooked.
Wow, it's amazing.
So how long did it take to perfect this fried chicken?
It took honestly 2 years.
2 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what made the difference?
It's trial and error. You just kind of see where it works. I think that because my family comes from a lot of eclectic backgrounds, my mom's from London, my dad's from South America, and there's a lot of Caribbean flavors, it was very like, okay, well, this is not good enough. This is not good enough. This is not good enough. And then when I nailed it, I'm like, boom, yeah.
Boom. And then Time Magazine says this is the best fried chicken.
What? That's quite a claim right there, yeah.
Yeah, we went to the National Fried Chicken Festival in 2018, and Times Magazine named us the best out of all the real chicken that was there.
Wow.
So even in compared to real chicken, this vegan chicken won.
Yes, yeah.
That is awesome.
Amazing.
So everyone wants to know though, what is the vegan chicken? What is the actual protein it's made of?
It's wheat protein, so yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
What's your favorite way to eat it?
Nachos.
Nachos? Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
the works, it's delicious.
My brother would appreciate that. He's like all over the nachos. Anything with nachos works for him. Yeah. So tell us about your Shark Tank experience.
I mean, it was pretty amazing. It was pretty fast. It kind of went by in a blur, but then afterwards I look at it and I'm like, ooh. It was incredible. It was something that I'll never forget. And it was just amazing. It was really amazing, and it was shocking, and you went through all the motions.
What were the sharks like?
They were nice. They were not.
Were they nice?
They were actually nice. I know that there's a lot of drama there, but they were actually really nice. Yeah.
So were you nervous at all when Mark Cuban gave you the offer?
No, not at all.
And you turned it down?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
If somebody offers you $1 million, and this is something I heard from Master P, he said this, so I had always kind of had this in my head anyways, but if somebody offers you a grand amount of money for something that you've created, know that it's worth hundreds of times more.
That's how they make money off of it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So
she was literally offered $1 million, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever revisit that decision after you made it? Or no, did you ever think, maybe I should have?
No,
No,
not
never
at
did.
all. Nope.
Wow.
No, not at all.
Fantastic.
So what's the story behind the name Atlas Monroe?
Well, Atlas, just as far as global eclectic flavors, Monroe actually means pure from the mouth of the river. All of our food is natural, non-genetically modified, so it just fit together.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
So what do you think has been the greatest lesson in terms of turning like this great idea and concept and great food into a reality and a successful business?
I think that the most essential thing, the most beautiful thing is you have so many people that, say these gorgeous words to you. They say, very supportive, very encouraging things. And then from time to time, you have people that are very hateful and they say things that are outrageous. But it matters. I think that humanity, that support, that beauty is just the most incredible thing about it, to be honest.
I love that. Or in LA, they say very nice things and then they stab you.
Very true. Very true.
And say, then let them eat fried chicken.
That's right. That's a reward, right? In that case.
Well, congratulations again on all this incredible success to you and your family. Please tell everyone where they can find and follow your journey.
And get some vegan fried chicken.
Actually,
right?
Actually, this week in LA, and you guys they can check our social media. It's Instagram, atlas.monroe. But we'll actually have our food at Honeybee up the street. So that'll be this Saturday.
They better get it before it's gone.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on EverTalk Live. Can you watch the stories of people changing the world? EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk.
All I can say to you guys is remember you are not alone. It's that simple. Just keep remembering you are not alone.
EverTalk is hashtag community powered, so we are excited to offer you a free 30-day subscription to explore the talk shows that will bring you timeless entertainment and evergreen conversations that will inspire, uplift, and empower you anytime, anywhere at EverTalk TV.
Live from Los Angeles. Welcome back to EverTalk Live. I'm so excited to welcome our next guest. She's a dream expert and an author, Kat Cannabis. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here.
Wonderful to have you.
It's so exciting how science is really validating precognitive dreams and their diagnostic abilities. This is huge, meaning your dreams can actually save your life.
They can, and they did. In this book, we have 30 authors who had, and some of them are doctors, but they asked us to use a different name. Their dreams were validated by pathology reports, which is part of the Asclepian dream temples. You know, from like 6,000 years ago, started with Imhotep. Remember the mummy?
Yes.
He started that.
Wow, fascinating. So take us back to your personal journey to coming to this place where you realized and recognized that there was something in a dream of yours that was sort of useful and valid. And where did that start?
It started after I'd had my yearly checkup, you know, the mammogram, the whole works, the blood tests, everything they do to us, and send us on our little way and say, you're healthy. And then I started having the most bizarre dreams where I'd be having my dream, it would freeze like a page on your computer, I'd get a pop-up that would become a window, and through that window would walk a monk. People ask me, why a monk? I'm like, I have no idea. I'm not Catholic. I don't do anything with monks. And this monk walked up and took my hand, put it on my breast and said, you feel that? And I said, yes. He said, that's breast cancer. You go back to your doctor and get a second set of tests. That happened 3 times. Each time I went back to my doctor, they said, you're healthy, go home. The 3rd time, the monk handed me a little feather and said, you go back tomorrow and you don't take no for an answer. And I got a second set of tests, and the pathology reports confirmed that I was in stage 2 with it in my lymph nodes.
Wow, that's fascinating. Yeah. At any point in that process, did you question the dream? I mean, you had to think like this.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Rob, you know, you want to believe your doctors.
Yeah.
You want to believe you're healthy. You want to tell the dream to go away. Yeah. But when you've got a dream like that that's out to save your life, it won't go away.
Incredible. So after you had that happen, did you dive into research and you began talking to people and experts about dreams?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
I wrote my first book, Surviving Cancerland, because it was a bit like being Alice in Wonderland. Take this, take that. Are you going to blow up? Are you going to shrink down? What's going to happen to you? Nobody really knows, right? Then we're going to stick you under radiation and see what happens. So I wrote the book, put it out, and a Dr. Larry Burke at Duke University Medical was a radiologist, the co-author, found my book online, contacted me, and said, you know, I'm doing a research project on women whose dreams diagnose their breast cancer, because when they're coming in for treatment, they're saying, I found my own cancer in a dream. And so I said, well, let's write a book together about it. And there's the book, which went into a bidding war.
Wow.
It's a good place to be.
Yeah, right
Everybody
off
wants
the
that
bat.
experience.
So Have there been other stories, other people you've come across who have not just diagnosed their cancer, but other illnesses through dreams?
Yes, we have diabetes. You just had your other guest on here, diabetes. Had dreams about being a diabetic, and then boom, she actually was. What else? Heart attacks. That's a really bizarre dream in there where somebody's dead daughter contacted a woman he had met at an event. She called him and said, you know, your daughter just wanted me to tell you in a dream, and she won't go away in the dream, that you're going to have a heart attack. And when you do, call 911 so you don't die. You're not supposed to die. You still have a life purpose.
Wow.
And so as he felt it coming on, he dialed 111, and they were able to use the paddles on him and bring him back.
Wow. So I got a question. So there are lots of people out there who are probably thinking, boy, I've had a dream, you know, and it never came true. Or I've had a dream and it just seems so surreal that it couldn't possibly come true. How can you help people know the difference between dreams that actually have valuable and useful sort of information inside that they can use and apply, and those dreams that are just random and don't mean anything?
That's a great question. And one of the answers is maybe the dream hasn't come true yet. Because in one of my books, in one of my dreams, it showed me that I had 3 crabs that skittered across the floor when I met my physician within, named Dr. Jules, in a dream. And they went down a flight of stairs. I was chasing after them because she told me to catch them. And I said, stop. And when they stopped, I scooped them up and looked at them in a container of clear water. They turned into 3 pearls. It was 5 years later before we found the 3rd cancer.
Oh, wow.
5 years later.
Yeah.
And the dream was basically warning me, don't give up. It's going to get worse before it gets better. And it did. And now I'm just going around telling people.
In your research, had you found any common denominators, any common symbols that might appear in people's dreams that would maybe signal cancer, or even if it's not verbal?
Yes. Yes, there were. In some of the stories, a lot of spiders, a lot of spider webs, a lot of crabs. And then those are the symbols, but there's another type of dream. And that's where a loved one comes into your dream and talks to you just as we're speaking and says, you have a disease. Don't believe what the reports are saying. You go back, and I'm not going to leave you alone until you do. Because if we die, we can't fulfill our life purpose. We're humans. We get sick. That's what we do. But we also get well. And it also proves that we have guardian angels. We have loved ones on the other side. We're their job on the earth plane, and they take that job seriously.
Fascinating. So there's another argument, of course, out there, which is that, you know, absolutely we receive information and downloads, whether it's from our deeper knowingness and intuition or from God or from guardian agents. And then there's some folks that feel and believe that, well, also the mind plays a huge role in creating things. It can create symptoms. It can create real problems in our body and in our lives. And so how do you sort of differentiate between those two things? Because if you think about something long enough and hard enough, you can often also make that come true, right? So
yes. I always say, if you don't mind it, it won't matter. You know, it won't become matter. But our brain is a computer, and it runs our whole body. And so a little bit of what you said is, yes, we can create a problem, but what if something is just off a little bit? And our brain says, okay, if we tell them about this in a dream, they might be able to fix it. Maybe they need to go onto a vegan diet. Maybe because they're diabetic, they need to change what they're eating. And so it starts giving us these dreams. If we can decipher those dreams, because we've learned our dream language, we can save ourselves a lot of grief with illness. And so our brain is directly speaking to us through dreams, but that doesn't explain when a monk comes into me and tells me something that's going to happen 5 years from now or for somebody else.
Yeah.
Were you interpreting your dreams or journaling before you had this dream with the monk?
I was, but nothing like after I started having the dreams with the monk. That's a whole different, you know, it's like puts it on fast track. But yes, I was always a dreamer, but I didn't always write them down. You know, I'd wake up in the morning and go, oh, that was interesting, that was interesting. But when you've got a monk coming in over and over again saying, you're sick, don't believe what the doctors are saying, they don't understand, go back to them, get a second set of tests. Then you suddenly become a really strong believer in your dreams, and you realize, hey, you're not alone no matter what kind of crisis you go through. I'm going to be okay.
Yeah, I definitely prefer the dreaming of monks than I do like Freddy on Elm Street, because that was my thing. Nightmare on Elm Street used to freak me out, man. I wouldn't go to sleep for
Really?
Yes, I wouldn't want to go to sleep because I'm like, are you kidding? You know, he was the scariest.
Oh, that's serious. It's interesting though, like recurring dreams that I've had, and I couldn't say maybe that they were signs of any kind of illness that I was experiencing, but I almost took them as like a GPS direction of my life.
Yeah.
And I always go back, maybe every month, to the same house I grew up in, but it's magical. It has a magical upstairs attic. I have no idea why I go there, but I always go there.
That's your higher intelligence.
Oh.
That's your spirituality. The basement is where you store all the things from the past, and your attic is where you go up to get a better view of everything below. And you might be storing things up there as well, but usually you store them in the basement because it's too hard to bring them down
That's so
out of an
interesting you
attic.
said that, because the only two places I go in that house are the basement or the attic. Ooh, I have chills.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
It is powerful. Feet on the ground, head in the clouds.
Yes, head in the clouds, but getting back to your nightmare with Freddy.
Yeah.
When you have a nightmare like that, a nightmare is a gift in disguise, because it's so easy to forget a beautiful dream, but you can't forget Freddy, can you?
No.
And the message that comes with Freddy, you're not going to even forget it to write it down. A month, a year later, it's going to stick with you. Freddy said.
Yeah. I used to have a dream as a kid. The other dream I used to always have was falling off the earth or off the moon and just falling forever. I never hit the ground, but I would just continue falling.
Did you jolt awake?
I did jolt awake.
Yeah.
But there was no, sort of ground in sight, but I still. So what does that mean? Does that mean?
You know, we are spirit before we're body, and we fly all over the place. And so a lot of us do fly in dreams, and that's actually advanced dreaming. So you just did that naturally. You're on to that already. And so by flying, we can go from one spot to another, revisit our old homes, where we grew up, and connect with people.
Wow, I love that.
So it's good.
Thank you so much. We so appreciate your time and your insight. Please tell everyone where they can find and follow you and get your book.
You can go onto Facebook, where I'm streaming live right now. And that's Kathleen O'Keefe Canvas, or you can just go and research me on The Queen of Dreams, because I've got quite a few columns I write.
Oh, we love that. Thank you so much.
Let it rain. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on EverTalk Live.
Welcome back to EverTalk Live. What a fantastic day of interviews, huh?
Oh,
yeah.
Absolutely incredible. I think this Queen of Dreams thing is so fascinating. I didn't realize you had nightmares, or that you were such an advanced runner, flying around the universe from a young age.
It's so interesting, because I think back to the dreams I had as a kid, and I don't dream much at all these days, but as a kid I had some really wild dreams. I mean, it was the one sort of falling off the earth or off the moon. The other one I would have was like shapes, weird shapes, and I'd wake up with a headache. So weird.
Okay, well, tomorrow we're going to talk about our dreams that we have tonight.
Oh my goodness.
I'll journal them if you journal them.
Okay, deal.
Deal.
I can do that for sure.
Let's take a look at today's Rewind.
Coming to you live from EverMedia Studios in Los Angeles, this is EverTalk Live.
My Explore page is all engagement rings, wedding photos, and babies. I am not married. I am not engaged.
But you want to be, right? You'd like to be one day.
Yes, I would like to be one day.
So it's aspirational.
He does these really great Insta stories that are very positive from the seat of his Italian Maserati.
That guy's very cool. You gotta check that out.
He's
Super dope.
very cool.
What were the sharks like?
They were nice. They were not.
Were they nice?
They were actually nice. I know that there's a lot of drama there, but they were actually really nice. Yeah.
So,
if somebody offers you a grand amount of money for something that you've created, know that it's worth hundreds of times more.
Live from Los Angeles. Welcome back to EverTalk Live. I'm so excited to welcome our next guest. She's a dream expert and an author. Kat Cannabis, welcome to the show.
In this book, we have 30 authors who had, and some of them are doctors, but they asked us to use a different name. Their dreams were validated by pathology reports, which is part of the Asclepian dream temples.
So cool. I gotta say, I never dreamt of vegan fried chicken, but I'm gonna have some now.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
I love what Deborah said. If somebody offers you $1 million, know
Yeah.
that it's worth 100 times more.
Oh, I love that idea, right?
Right?
Yeah, it's a good point. It's interesting because it does make sense, right? Because how do businesses make money other than sort of getting more out than you put in?
Well, I'll let you know what I think when somebody offers me $1 million.
Yeah. No, that it's worth 100 million.
100 times more than that. Go
That's
back and
right.
try again.
Absolutely.
Well, what an incredible show. We are so grateful. Thank you so much for watching. We are EverTalk Live, streaming to you live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on all things social and, of course, on Apple TV and Roku via the EverTalk app.
That's right. Send us a message. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day on purpose.
That's right. On purpose. Keep dreaming.
Keep dreaming. I know, right?